Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Let's take you back, of course, to our top story. Community members in Pongola in KZN have been calling for interventions for years as the route has become notorious for truck-related accidents. The recent spate of truck-related accidents has sparked a debate about whether to move freight off the roads and onto rail. Now, of course, we know that Fikile Mbalula, the Transport Minister, is at that accident scene and he's released a report into what happened. And basically, it says that the truck driver didn't do the right thing. He remained on the wrong lane, which was the lane of oncoming traffic. Now, let's speak to Mesela Nhlapo. She is the CEO of the African Rail Industry Association, just to find out her thoughts on what the minister has said this afternoon. Thank you very much, Ms. Nhlapo, for your time here on eNCA. Firstly, of course, the question is about, the possibility of government moving, the moving of goods in South Africa from the freight industry and back to the rail industry. This, of course, will pose a threat to all stakeholders, including even the truck drivers themselves, economically rather.
Good afternoon. Firstly, our deepest condolences to the Pongola community. And I think no parent should bury their children. I think the human heart was never designed for such heartbreak. And the minister, or rather moving goods from road to rail, it's simply an actionable item. We already have a rail policy in place that must be actioned by Transnet with the conditions as set out in the policy. The Economic Reconstruction and Recovery talks about moving goods from road to rail. So the only thing that is delaying this is ensuring that the third-party access and moving goods from road to rail is aligned with the South African policy as published and gazetted by the South African government.
All right, so just tell me, in terms of the fact that, I've been looking, I'm taking a look at some of the accidents that have been recorded in South Africa just in the month of September, and how many of those accidents involved trucks. And I mean, the N2 highway between Mthatha and Dugwa, there was a truck accident there. Truck crashed into a wall, leaving 2 people injured in Elandsfontein. This is all in September alone. There was another truck driver who was seriously injured in Pinetown because he also was involved in a truck accident, etc. So, what is the problem here? Is it probably an industry issue where the truck drivers feel they cannot rest because they always are encouraged to rest because of the long drives that they take? Is it the industry stakeholders and the businesses that they work for that they are probably scared of in terms of reaching what they're told that they need to reach, the target, etc.?
Let's try to look at a different part of where the problem may be coming from. We have a huge number of trucks on our roads. Now we need to ask ourselves why that is the case. We know that Transnet Freight Rail have been, the volumes that they have transported over the past 10 years have significantly reduced. And we expect that there will be a further reduction this year. So as a freight owner, if you cannot rely on Transnet to collect your goods on time and ensure that it reaches the customer on time, you look for alternative. An alternative in this instance will be trucks. Those coal trucks is not that the coal mines wants to transport by trucks, but it's simply that is the last resort. It's an alternative, but ideally for them, rail is the option that they would go for because of the number of tonnages that they can export. And remember that this export is actually money coming into the economy. So for me, it's not. I can't speak for the trucking industry, but where we look at the problem, diagnosing the problem from the national point of view. What happened before that? Why do we have so many trucks on the road? Is because we've reduced the volumes that we are transporting by rail. So we have a policy that is applicable today. We need to action that. We need to bring in private sector to resolve this problem. It's a national problem. It's not a nice to have solution. This is an emergency. And I'm calling out to the president that we are in ICU. If we don't have a rail industry roundtable to ensure that we reverse what has caused the problems on our roads and move goods to rail, then it's going to get worse. More people are going to die. Let's respect the right to life through implementing the policy that has been gazetted.
And absolutely, we've seen also the state of our roads, which the trucking industry also is partly blamed for by a lot of people. Thank you very much for your time. Hopefully, Mesela Nhlapo, the CEO of the African Rail Industry Association, hopefully in terms of Transnet, we all know what happened there as well. And hopefully government is able to fix that first before it thinks of taking back everything to the rail industry or other.